Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm Spiritual Coach Lisa Hopp. It is Sunday, March 9th, 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are new to this podcast, please be sure to check out my website at lisahopp.com. It is all about my work and all about my upcoming events. And for those of you joining me here on YouTube, thank you so much. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and share if you feel a connection with this podcast today. I'm also under my business page, Lisa M. Hopp, Spiritual Coach and Medium, at Facebook and on Instagram under Spiritual Coach Lisa Hopp. And thank you all for joining me on other platforms such as Spotify, iHeart, Audible. I appreciate you all so very much. Today's topic is called The Unlimitedness of Human Potential, and it's actually inspired by a listener question that was emailed to me. And so I'd like to read the questions to you and then go right at the topic. The listener would like me to address something that I had said earlier, which was about how we have the potential to create galaxies. And they were very curious about how that is possible. And they wanted to know if we create galaxies here on Earth, or is that something that we do when we go over to the other dimension, when we leave these physical bodies? Is it done by a more powerful, more evolved spirit, or is it more of a mass consciousness type of thing? Well, it's yes to some of these questions, actually, most of these questions. So let me start right now. And I was really thrilled by these questions because it speaks again to our unlimited potential, to the power that we have. You see, the universe is pure consciousness. And this pure consciousness wants to create. It created humans, it created planets, it created galaxies, and it still does today. Consciousness is all that exists. It was consciousness that enabled the Big Bang Theory. That was the physical. But it was brought about by consciousness. And here's the wonderful thing. We are, you and I, a part of that consciousness. We are a part of that divine spark. We are a part of the creating. And we speak to this creative power every day. We create every day. The only thing that separates us from our ability to really create is just a misguided perception, which was brought to us about 325 AD by Emperor Constantine and the traditional church at the time that took the knowledge I'm about to speak about out. It blocked us from it. But now it's back. We have found the teachings, and we now have the technology to be able to record through NASA, through their technology, through our scientists. We are now able to prove what I am talking about. You can call it new science, but really it's been science all along. So here's what we always were taught. We were taught about the atom, that it was kind of looked like a planet, and then there was kind of things kind of floating around. It almost looked like a solar system. But now we understand that the atom and everything is electric and magnetic, and it's just made of energy. The atom is simply energy with electrical and magnetic field. And we can now see this energy in space. And we now can see that there is an energy field. And the energy field is sometimes just called the field. Sometimes Stephen Hawking, for instance, called it the mind of God. or it can be called the divine matrix. It has several names meaning the same thing. And so this energy is the same energy that you and I have within our bodies. We have the same DNA as the solar system. Isn't that something? I'm more spiritual. So I always say we have God within us. We have that higher, larger energy within us. And just by being in this world and having that energy within us, we are connected to each other. Stay with me. So the energy that has the planets, that has the solar systems, that has the galaxies, it is made up of energy that we also have within us. And it is changeable. And it cannot be separated because it's energy. And energy is eternal. Energy never stops existing. We cannot separate from it. And I probably have said this already, we can not only change this energy, we can change our DNA. We can also change the DNA of our world and of the universe. So that is how we can create more galaxies, more solar systems, probably, yes, more planets, because it's energy. It's made up of energy. And we don't have to pass to do it. We have the capability to do it right here. So how do we do it? It is done through our heart, through emotions. It is done because our heart is much more powerful than you realize. And it is also done through connecting our heart into our observations. So let's say you are a space lover. If you go out and you are looking at the sky, and you are looking at the moon, and you are looking at the stars, and you are looking at the Little Dipper and the Big Dipper, and you are feeling this immense feeling, this wonderful feeling of emotion, of harmony, of gratitude. And the most powerful emotion, you think I'm going to say love, but the most powerful emotion is compassion. Compassion, not as we're taught compassion, where we feel almost like a heightened pity for another. No, compassion that is beyond judgment and ego. It's without it. It's seeing the world for what it is rather than what we can make it with our fear, with our anger, with our hate. Compassion is seeing it with that unconditional feeling of what it truly is and all that it can be. And when you look at the sky like that, when you look through a telescope, you create that moment. You are an observer that's creating. We are so connected in that way. And the change like that, where you add, where you embellish what is there, that happens instantly. There's no way. Well, let's put it this way. We live in a holographic reality. And you know a hologram, right? Just in case. I wasn't a science person. A hologram being a three-dimensional light, right? We're all part of that. The solar system, our galaxies, our universe is all a holographic reality. And so are we. And you cannot split or break a holographic reality. No matter how you do it, it's always the same. It can have multiple parts, but they're all the same. So when you send up a change in some way through your creative heart center with a backup of your mind, then that change happens instantly because there's no travel time needed because it's holographic. So all time is happening at once. Everything is happening everywhere at once. And let's step back from the space for just a moment and put this to, what's it mean when we pray? We are so connected that when you send a prayer to someone, it's already there. There's no travel time needed. When you send healing, it's already there. It's already happened just by your heart and mind being involved. It goes past the speed of time. It's faster. It's instantaneous. We're just more powerful than we realize. And just by being in this world, you participate in creation. You can't get out of it. You can't escape it. You're naturally doing it every second of every day. So to answer the question specifically and directly, is this something that was created, our planet, our solar systems, our galaxies, by a higher source? Yes. Pure consciousness. You can call it the mind of God. But we are a part of that mind. So when it was created, we were created as well, and we're a team. We work together to create all that is in this world, all that is in creation. It's a team job. I'm looking at the questions again. That's why there's a bit of silence. You do not have to be evolved to do it. You do not have to be... You're just you. You create just by being you. Does it need mass consciousness? Mass consciousness is always more powerful. But you're creating as part of mass consciousness no matter what. There was a recent healing that I saw, where 3 people cured cancer through intention of compassion mixed with it's done. It's the same way Jesus cured. Thank you. It's already done. This is how we create. Now, yes, it's not really, well, let me just say this. Generally, when things are created, it's high emotion, upper emotion most of the time. Well, more positive emotion, compassion, love, harmony, gratitude, all of that is much more powerful than rage, anger, hate. But that creates too. So when you're looking up at the solar system, yes, you can create. But yes, it's more powerful if somebody's doing it with you. But has it happened? Most likely. Is it possible? Absolutely. Because you play a part. You are a team player. You don't necessarily need that group. If only 3 people can heal cancer, if one Jesus that knows how to do it through prayer can make someone see again or walk, you can create a new star. But you have to believe it. And that's where we are limited. Because as I said before, the knowledge was taken away. It was taken away. And we are taught every day that we are limited. Through religion, we are taught that we are sinners. There's something small about us. So, and some of us not only have beliefs that get in the way because of that, but also we don't know that we're worthy. We don't know that we're good enough to do such a thing. But we are just by being created. You're seen as equal with that energy because you are equal with that energy. There's been test after test after test proving that the DNA of the universe, when it is put together in some way with the DNA of us, they line up. And even when one is taken away from the other, they still continue with a connection of energy. And I'm not talking about blood taken DNA. I am talking about, of course, atoms, molecules, photons, these type of things, right? And so when it's come together, humanity with the energy of the planet, they are as one. We are one consciousness, all right? Isn't that amazing? That is something. That's more than something. I say this every day, that every single one of us has the ability to heal anything. But also, if you want peace on this planet, you create peace. It doesn't come from winning a war. It doesn't come from the physical. It comes from the intention, from the power, from pure consciousness of wanting peace. So you send peace out to every facet of the planet, starting within you. And then peace is there. Just the same with anything. But you have to believe it's possible. You have to know it is done. And so I talk every week about how we have the ability to better our lives, create our lives. Creating a solar system or a new Milky Way or a new planet, that's larger, isn't it? But it's all done the same. It comes down to believing it's possible. And then you will find proof to back it up. They study this at universities. They have studied this at Princeton. They know it in the religious texts that are found in Tibet and in temples. in Native American culture. They know this. Just as they knew this in the traditional religious church of Catholicism before they decided it was better to leave it out. Might trigger. But one would wonder if that was because of wanting control. But there's so much power in group prayer. Getting it done, group healing. We can change this whole earth. We can change the whole universe. Because again, we are co-creators with it and made of the same energy of it. It's all connected. And wonderfully, the Hubble telescope and all can show us that energy. Energy is now being revealed, and that is what we're made of too. That is us. Now I hope I didn't lose you for that moment, because honestly I might have lost me when I went into the whole, quantum physics area. So if you need clarity, I will, in a plain speaking way, be able and be sure to give it to you. But what it comes down to is consciousness is not just of this planet. Consciousness is of the all. And it came from a desire to create. And an intention to create the all. And we were part of the creation. We are co-creators in the wonderment of creation. Now that means that you can have a lot of responsibility to create. Don't walk around this earth complaining, blaming, hating. Next week's podcast is about that and what can happen on social media. What can happen, mostly on social media, but to each other. We're co-creating what we don't want, right? When you create, what you dwell on expands. What you focus on expands. That's why the universe is ever expanding. Because we have an intention and a desire to expand it. So if you dwell in blame, you get blame coming at you. If you dwell and focus on ill health, you get ill health. Now, that's different from when we leave our physical body and go to the other dimension that we know of heaven. That's a different thing. If you dwell on ill health, it doesn't mean you bring about your passing unless you give up your will to be in a physical body. What it does mean is that you won't have wellness. If you continue to hate your ex, you will never, ever be happy. No one's going to come and rescue you from that because you're focusing on hating. What we focus on grows naturally, and it happens more than we realize because we're focusing every millisecond. We're always taking snapshots. We're always recording. And so, pay attention. Pay attention to what you're feeling reminder again. See the world for what it really is, not on what fear is fed to us. Stay away from fear-based things. They're not truth. All right? Compassion comes from getting beyond judgment, getting beyond fear, getting beyond competition, getting beyond jealousy, getting beyond insecurity, getting beyond the trauma, victimhood, getting beyond that and feeling that immense compassion for all your brothers and sisters and pets and creation as a whole. Everything and everyone. You can do that. You are unlimited. You are anyway, but you're fully unlimited. And you are unstoppable. I hope you stayed with me. I hope you got at least some of it. I'm grateful to talk to you about this because it's so important. It's so worth it to go there. Drum up how you feel, what moves you to tears in a joyful way. Go there and stay there, and you'll create whatever you want to create. Whether it be a home star or a better life here or both together. Thank you again for joining me. If you're on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share. Always open to suggestions for topics. And again, find me on Facebook. Find me at under my business page, Lisa M. Hobbs, Spiritual Coach and Medium. Also, please check out my website, lisahopp.com, and sign up for my newsletter. I would appreciate it so very much. And until next time, much creating, the life you want, the universe you want, the peace you want, and many, many blessings.